right, girl. 911. This episode, it was a little tired for me. Just a little bit tired. But I'm going to proceed. If I can find my notes. Oh, it's a little icy right here. Let me stay with it. It's so icy. You already know. All right. Girl, yesterday I couldn't go anywhere. My car was encased, honey. It was sitting up on 4 fours and 2 inches of ice. And I said, Lord, help me today. Help me today. All right, so 911, child. This episode was all right, but it did not bless me. It didn't. So we began with the children over at the bouncy house. It's somebody's birthday. Little boy turned 10 or so. They got the bouncy house and all of that, and he got attitude with his daddy. So his daddy like, all right, well, let me go play with the children, try to get the boy back on my side. He gets in the bouncy house with the kids. They jumping and carrying on. Now, it's windy out here. And I'm not talking about Wendy Davis, the owner of Wendy's, Dave's daughter. Is it Davis? I made Davis up because Dave is her daddy, and her daddy's name ain't Dave Davis. But whatever, girl. It's windy outside. Big winds. Excuse me. Lots of things going on as far as wind. So he, girl, all right. He is out there. I'm sorry, y'all. I feel like I'm coming down with something. He out there bouncing with the churn. It's him and his son, and then like 2 other little boys in there jumping. They jumping. Now this is in California, Lord. So they living on the side of a mountain. Help me today. They jumping, you know, jumping, Destiny's Child. And all of a sudden, girl, the bouncy house comes unhinged, and the wind takes it higher. That thing, it went on up to yonder to be with their Lord. Oh, I'm going up yonder. But it didn't go up yonder. It just went up slightly, threw the daddy on out to the ground, and then it came on back down and got hung up on that side of the mountain. So, obviously, they called 911. The firefighters went on in. Wasn't nobody dead, thankfully. The daddy, I just knew the daddy was dead. I said, well, that was just his last hurrah. But he's all right. Well, he ain't all right, but he ain't dead. There was a little boy that was laid over in the bouncy house. He ain't dead either. The rest of the children ain't dead. So that was wonderful news, and we moved on from that. Now, May is our next case. So she done took her mama's pills. Her mama had some dental work back in the day. Now, May is a little girl that works my nerves on every show she on, but I think she's a great actress. She done took Bernadine's pills. I think her name is Athena, but I'm going to call her Bernadine because I like it. So she done took Bernadine's pills, child, and she laid over, carrying on, and her mama's, you know, trying to get her to not be dead, listening for a pulse and carryings on, and call 911. So 911, they scrape on up, take her down to the hospital. And turns out she's not dead. But they ask Athena, I guess, to leave the room, or maybe she stepped out for a moment to get some air. And Rockman Dunbar comes in, and you ain't answering your phone. What's going on? So she got to break the news. Your daughter done took up all these pills, child, and you know it ain't good. And so now he's giving, you were right. They weren't ready. It's all my fault. And I'm saying like, well, that's very mature. Very mature. Because my daddy would have been like, so why you had them pills out in the first place for her to take? Like, what's your problem? And my mama would have been like, and that's why they broke up. So anyway, I am raggedy for that one. So yeah, they sit together and they holding hands and carrying on. I was waiting on somebody to pray, but they didn't pray. I guess they're not saved. But they sitting together and they holding hands and they talking about it, and then they hug. And while they hugging, Rockman Dunbar's boyfriend comes in. And I'm saying, now Rockman Dunbar's boyfriend, niece, if you see this man sitting here with his wife in an intimate, let me wait, because you driving way too fast, in an intimate moment, why? Pray tell the pray. Would you walk up on these people all the way up on them? See, if I was sneaking, I would have looked and saw that he's all right. He's hugging his wife, okay. And then I would have went on. I'd have been like, all right, he look like he all right. Now to text him and said, call me later, or something. But I wouldn't have walked. He walked smooth up on them and just stood there in silence. Sir, or madam, what's your problem? And why are we going very slow? I got to be at work in 5 minutes. Girls. Goyles. Anyway, child. Oh, Jesus. These 2 Jeep Cherokees in front of me, Lord. Okay, so, May ain't dead. She's still with us. She's holding on, which is very hard to do when love is gone, and that's no lie. So they get in there and they talking, and hey, what's going on? And they bring up, the gay daddy, and she said, well, this ain't because of you, daddy. And I'm like, I just knew it was because her daddy was gay. And I'm like, well, I had told her how to do it. Y'all just sit and watch Paris is Burning. We figure out what kind of gay he is. Is this a makeup gay? Is he going to be on the butch side of it? What kind of gay are we going to be? I'd already had this conversation with her. But she said it wasn't because he was gay. It's because the girls down at school been picking on her. And she was trying to handle it herself. But she just decided that handling it was going to be taking a bunch of pills. And then she proceeded to say, well, I wasn't trying to die. But in her story, she was telling her the girls was picking on her and telling her she needed to just go on and die. And then she took all the pills. So what? I don't understand. As someone who is always ready to die, I'm just waiting on the day. Just waiting patiently. It just does not make sense to me. It does not make sense to me. But I don't understand. I haven't been a 12-year-old girl in over a decade, so I don't know. I think she's 12. Anyway, it didn't make sense also to me for you to be having such a serious problem and not tell your police officer mama. Anyway, child, I'm not going to bother to tell y'all. CPS done popped in, and they're giving we need to have a conversation with this girl without you, and we need to determine what's going on and if it got anything to do with y'all, and we'll let you know if we got to take her out the house or not in a couple of days. Have a blessed one. And everybody's upset. Athena is giving... Athena Bernadine. That's a cute name, actually. I hope that's her middle name. If it's not, it is now. Athena Bernadine is giving, because I like that better than Bernadine Basket. She's giving, you don't have to do this. And the CPS worker is like, okay, so girl, you're a cop. You know what I'm authorized to do if you don't act right. Get it together. Get it together. And Athena's like, all right, we got to follow the rules. I'm going to slide on, check on your brother, and they'll call me. Just tell the truth, and it'll be all right. And Rockman is all upset and carrying on. So that was that with that. Jim, I think his name is Jim. He's a firefighter. He's the Asian one. They taking me too fast on this show because I can't catch everybody's names and carryings on. But anyway, he is the great pretender, and he done pretended to be all of this, that, and the other for this woman, and he done proposed to her. She said no because she's a cheater, and I said, well, I've been on that side of I've been on that side of the cheating. I've been a cheater in my day, quote unquote. I don't really consider it cheating because I just don't get in serious relationships. So if I'm not in a serious relationship with you, I cannot be cheating on you. But niggas are sensitive, so anyway. He done proposed to her. She done said, no, child, I can't be bothered with this because, I ain't right. Which I thought was very responsible. I thought that was responsible. But he's upset about it. So he comes on into work the next day and he don't want to play video games with nobody. And he's just kind of, upset. And Bobby has to tell him, after trying not to tell him, that you fake when you with her. You ain't Jim. I don't know who y'all. I had to cook the dinner. You done lied about cooking dinner, this, that, and the other. You fake. And Jim had a moment where he was telling Bobby, well, we don't know nothing about you. And I took that to mean Bobby's family is dead. Because, when you got that brooding, older white man that knows everything on the TV show, usually he has experienced great tragedy. And that usually means his wife and children are deceased. So I'm taking that and I'm running with it until I find out otherwise. But, so Jim, girl, he storms off, honey, and he is driving real fast. And I'm like, girl, why? Why are you doing that? My nose itching. I got too much going on today. Why is all this happening? And he driving, he weaving in and out of traffic. And it looked like the truck was weaving in and out of traffic with him. Like, trying to stop him it looked like the truck was after him from my point of view, but I don't know. But they kept zooming in on these bars, honey, these steel rods of some sort. And I'm like, it's gonna go through the car. I was thinking it was just gonna go through the car and scare him. But child, he was swerved, and then he ended up swerving off to the side of the road, and he almost hit one of the little walls. But instead of hitting the wall, he stopped short and almost hit it. But then the truck behind him slams into him, so crushes him in between him and the wall. And we thought that was just that. But that's not that, because when we come back from commercial break, Lord, it's a bar going smooth through this man's head. Smooth through. Do you know how dead I would have been? I turned to my mother and said, sis, I would have been so gone. So gone over you. That's the grandmother rendition. Silly of me. Must have lost my mind. Surely if a bar went through my head. But anyway, enough about Monica, because that's my jam. There's a gigantic situation happening out here. It's a lot going on. We've had winter, and we are not accustomed to having winter. So it has thrown everything out. All folks' power and internet and peace of mind has just been destroyed. Oh, it's just a lot. Anyway, I'm at work. So I'm going to come back with the other half of this video on my lunch or something. Or maybe when I run to the bank. All right. God bless. Back. And I'm going to finish this as soon as I back out of this spot. Got to look both ways. Make sure ain't nothing coming. Or try to make sure, because you can never fully know, you know. Oh, ran over a little patch of ice. So back to Jim, girl. So I would have been very, very dead, okay? Like DED, not DEAD, but DED. But somehow he's still with us. So all in all, they had to get him not to move. They were going to not tell him that he had a giant piece of rebar hanging from his skull, but he demanded to know. Girl, sorry, my products are falling back there. He demanded to know. And in his demands, they took a video, and they showed it to him. And yeah, at that point, I would have died. First of all, I would not have demanded to know, because I would have looked at everybody's faces around me and said, this looks like something I don't need to know. But then if for some reason I did demand to know and they showed it to me, I would have convulsed right there, had a seizure, and the bar would have just rattled, and I would have died. I just would have been dead. No, because I was really over there shivering and shaking, watching it on the television. It scared the life out of me, honey. So let's swoop over to Abby. Actually, no, let's go ahead and get Jim out the way. So they strap him down real tight where he can't move, and they basically put his vehicle on a tow truck with him in it and the bar in him. And they slowly carry him over to the hospital. And it's distressing me thinking about it. I'm getting a headache thinking about it, so we're going to move on. All in all, they get the bar out of his head. They were having surgery and carrying on. They pull the bar out. His brain starts to bleed. They put him in a coma. So we're just hoping for the best. And by the end of the episode, he's breathing on his own, so that's good news. But they don't know, when he wakes up or if he wakes up, what it will be. Moving over to Abby. Abby's mom is having a birthday. She has been born, and they're celebrating that. She don't really know what all is going on because she's not doing too well. Her brother, Abby's brother, confronts Abby saying, well, we need to send her to a facility. Abby does not want that, and she made a very valid point. She said to the lady, the home care lady, as long as she's still, here with me, I want her here with me. As long as she can still recognize me from time to time and knows who I am from time to time, I would like her to be right here with me. It made sense. I liked it. So she calls, what's his name, Jesus? Buck. Now, Buck was on a call, and this call was basically a human trafficking case. A woman called in and said that there were people in the back of a truck, and they can't breathe and carrying on. So they went, and there was a 18-wheeler, semi whatever bed loaded with people, and they were overheating in there. They were locked in there. The driver was nowhere to be found, and all of that. So, I'm sorry, I'm looking for a parking space. With all of that going on, they drill or saw open the lock and get in there. There's a little boy. He don't look like he gonna make it, but he makes it. Everybody's overheating and carrying on, and they finally the truck driver, because bald-headed black firefighter Aisha, whatever her name is on the show, she climbed up there and she looked at the ID at the top of the truck, like in this thing. There was an ID. How you doing? There was an identification, and it had the man's picture and his name on it. So he came back, and he looking at the scene, and she done tackled him. And so they arrest him, obviously, and the little boy lives. It looks like everybody lived. So Abby calls. I don't want to park right there. That's too tight. My vehicle is too large for this. Abby calls and talks to Buck, and they have a cute little conversation. She lets him know that they're what do you call this? What is the way? Her mother. I'm sorry, I'm super distracted trying to park out here. Her mother, she tells him, has Alzheimer's. Lord, this German Shepherd better stay where he is. I hope he's been trained to stay. He's in the back of a truck, but he's standing up, and it looks like he's about to hop out. And I cannot be responsible for somebody else's dog. Oh, she needs to touch up on those roots. Anyway, I'm sorry. Got a lot going on out in the street. I'm distracted. I'm really trying to take my mind off that pole sticking out that man's head. But, so they have a cute little conversation. She tells him about her mom and all of that, and they still kind of dating halfway. Bernadine goes up to the school, and she's looking real creepy. She was looking very strange and creepy. And she sees those children, and she's got a copy of the yearbook, and she basically is like looking at the kids in real life and then looking at the yearbook picture. And I was like, kids still have yearbooks? I would have thought it would be all, digital now. The yearbook is Facebook. But whatever, girl. So anyway, I hope the car behind me don't think she's going to back up while I'm backing up. But she's sitting outside the school looking real creepy. And I just don't know where we're going to go from there. But I'm nervous for the sake of Bernadine and those children. And Bob went up to Tatiana and said, well, can you come and sit with Jim and see if he'll come back to life or whatever? And she said no. So she's just trifling. Just big time trifling and trash. Where's my... Okay. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm working and working. 1:30. But yeah, she said she couldn't come up to the function just simply because she couldn't come up. And I'm like, girl, I don't understand. You can't come visit your ex-boyfriend that's in the hospital? That don't make sense to me. But whatever, child. Anyway, that was that. That was 911. Let me run in here and take these things in here to this joint, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.